What's up, everybody? It's time for your weekly podcast from the Boxing Vibes TV crew. Check us out on podcast number 33. We about to get into that new pound-for-pound star over in Japan, Naoya Inoue. You know the vibes.
This ain't one of them times you can slide by what you say that you gonna do. Put your money up, run that fade, time to show and prove. You know the vibes, partner. Ain't got no ways up in my casa, clowning the day, gone in la mañana. I've been on fire lately, train my spirit, mind and body daily. Victory is sweet as the science, baby. It's only right we represent from chamber to tally. And keep the pressure on these eyes, they cardio lacking. Till you flopping on the canvas and bombing your weaving. Unleashing the fury on your face while the audience screaming. Hope they got great seats or the pay-per-view. Let's get the breakdown from J, DJ, and Q. You know the vibes.
Boxing Vibes TV. Boxing Vibes TV.
These fools, man. I gotta do a show with these fools, man.
Yeah, boy. Let's go.
What up, boxing world? It's Boxing Vibes TV. We're back at it again, trying to help you keep up with the busy end of the year for boxing. Once again, we're coming to you all the way from Tampa, Florida at the Signature Punch Training Center in the GLH Media Recording Studio. Once again, we want to give a shout out to Joe for providing us with this lovely pod space. Y'all got to come down here and check it out.
Salute.
All right, so go ahead. Let me do what I do. Let me go ahead and introduce the crew. We got JD.
Yeah, what's up? Quote of the pod.
Man.
I'm ferocious. I want your heart. All praise be to Allah. Mike Tyson, bro. You know what I mean? I want to eat your children.
Pause.
Where we at, Q? We got Q in the building.
What's happening, man? What's good, man? You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Q, man. We're gonna do what it do. I'm gonna just take it from you, man. Hey, listen, everybody.
I can't even introduce my stuff. Dang, that's
my
good.
bad.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why I introduced myself as a moderator of the madness, Jay James. Y'all can call me Jay. Oh, but Q, on Q, can you go ahead and tell them what to do?
Man, listen. Smash that like button, man. Smash that like button. Hit the notification, subscribe. So anytime we get anything new, you'll get a ding ding whatever notification bell.
Right.
And please do that for us, man. And that's all we got, man. That helps us out a lot when y'all do that. We appreciate y'all.
All right.
Good things are coming.
So we can go ahead and jump straight into it on October. Hey, listen, we having a rough time filming, but y'all gonna stay, y'all gonna rock with me, man. So
we live to tape.
We live. We doing this thing on one tape, man. Call us the Jay-Z of the game right now. So on October 31st, Oleksandr Usyk survived a back and forth battle, escaping Wembley Arena with the unanimous decision. Two judges had it 115-113. Another judge had it 117-111. The question is that we're gonna get into is, as a heavyweight, is Oleksandr Usyk a force to reckon with?
Is he a force to reckon with at heavyweight? I would say absolutely no, brother. No. And I'm going to use the quote that this man, Spence, has notoriously said to one Bud Crawford. And it goes like this. You're too light in the ass. I'm going to just say that. Because at the end of the day, man, Usyk is an excellent fighter. He's an excellent boxer. He most definitely has a significant skill set. But what I saw when I witnessed that fight is I just saw a fighter who doesn't have enough thud with these boys who are going to be 40, 50 pounds heavier than him. Because there will be a fighter who's going to take his punches and they're going to walk through and demolish Usyk. So at the end of the day, at heavyweight, I just don't like it, because what I will say about Usyk Chisora is that had he been fighting any of the top elite heavyweights, or even, whether it was Fury, I say even Joshua, and I most definitely will say Wilder. And I'll say Wilder specifically because you could probably say from a literal weight comparison, Usyk and Wilder are probably pretty comparable when it comes to weight. And the way that Chisora was right in his chest around the ring all night, if that had been the Bronze Bomber hitting him with some of those punches, Chisora would have been gone. He would have been nap. It would have been nap time, right? So at the end of the day, I just did not see enough power out of Usyk, although he has an excellent skill set.
Go ahead, Q, take it.
Real talk, same thing, man. I mean, listen, heavyweight ain't for him.
So you saying he should be super cruiser, huh?
Chisora is 42 years old, man. He was in his chest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as good as Usyk, his skill set is, he's a dancer. He do all the dancing and everything. He has great footwork, and he circled around him and used his boxing skills. But he was hit, man. He got, bro, he ate a lot of leather that night, bro.
Uh-huh.
And 42-year-old journeyman was in his mouth. It was a good fight, and I just feel like, bro, that man, Wilder, any top heavyweight, where you'd have been asleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like my man he just pressed him. He walked him down the whole night, and he was hitting him. To a large degree, he got hit with a lot of punches that I felt like 42 to 33, you in your prime, and he in great shape. And I like Usyk, but I don't really think so, man. I think maybe that's why they're trying to come up with that new super cruiserweight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And also something else I saw that now I like him and
now I will say this right quick, Q. Now according to BoxRec, they're saying that Chisora is only 36. They're claiming that he's got 42 bouts. But he's 36 years of age, so he's 36.
That's what we need more of.
Hey, Q, tight.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
hey, listen, we all make mistakes, man.
That's true. I was saying, I told October,
brother.
Right? No, most definitely.
That is true.
It's true. Most definitely, he's a journeyman.
He's a journeyman. He's not the top of the.
32 and 10.
Also, hold on, real quick. With Usyk, one more thing I thought was dope. He's the only person in the cruiserweight division that because he got the WBA, the WBC, the IBF, and the WBO.
He was a unified champion.
He pretty much got all the belts.
Right.
Yeah. And listen, he was a decent cruiserweight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say like he was the most fantastic cruiserweight.
That's his last season. In my opinion.
So what I asked this about Devin Haney last show. I'll ask this about anybody. So he's fought in one weight class professionally, right? Cruiserweight, right?
Right.
So I'm curious, gentlemen. How is he in Ring Magazine's, ESPN? How's he on the pound for pound list? Answer me that.
Right.
I'm asking a serious question to both of you.
They want to make him a star, bro. They want to make him a star.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all right in his weight class. He's amazing, but he's good. But see, I can't speak on that. But a fight that I will be excited to see, I would like to see him and Daniel Dubois.
Well, yeah,
but I would like to see that because if Joshua and Fury fight, and Joshua had to vacate his title, they'll fight for that belt, for that vacant belt. That'll be something and it'll be a heavyweight belt. That'll be.
But I'm trying to drive a point here, mm-hmm. right? We have a guy. I'm sorry, it escapes me. I know we have a lot of fighters with a lot of teens in their record. Is it Usyk 17, 18-0? What's his record?
No, yeah, he's like 18-0. 18-0. 18-0.
18-0.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out how does he get on that pound for pound list.
Because to your point, the interesting thing is it was the same thing with Vasily.
Yeah,
and ironically, there must be some kind of machine that we see that gets behind the Ukraine fighters. Because the common connection is that we got Vasily Lomachenko, who was what 13-1, or 14-1, and then you're sitting here with Usyk, who is 18-0, and both of them literally in the top 10 pound for pound.
I just don't understand.
Where y'all at?
No, and we don't even need to go to.
You ain't got Pacquiao in there, man.
But no,
I'm not saying that.
But we don't. But we don't even.
World title don't been there eight different weight classes.
And part
nobody
of it
else has done that. Mm-hmm. And 4 decades, nobody else has done that. 90s, 2000, 2010, 2020, still holding right now to this day.
To this day.
I mean, listen. Pacquiao being in the top 10, that's something you can attribute to age, but when last seen, he was beating a young lion in Thurman, so I don't see how you don't put him in the top.
You can't
pound for pound. I was going to say he's never lost that pound for pound. So I guess you can knock him off for Jeff Horn, but the consensus is he really did. That was a bad decision. So let me throw this out there, right? And we're talking about all these lower weight classes for a long time. I don't know if it's still current. And this is what the part that baffled me and upset me a lot is that I'm gonna go ahead and say it, right? The heavyweight division, when you're in the heavyweight division, you're the apex predator, right?
Mm-hmm.
The test is, does your talents travel up? Does your talent travel up through all the weight classes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you who I can see at light heavyweight, cruiserweight. I can see him at any weight dominating, and that's Tyson Fury.
Mm-hmm.
And so the confusing part to me, I want you guys to speak on, is how would a heavyweight that talented, do you have a Usyk higher than him on the pound for pound list? I mean, there's not.
I got an answer for you.
You know, and so for me, I'm trying to figure out. I mean, aside from all the controversy, Deontay Wilder wants to kick up, and whatever you want to talk about his past. I mean, his boxing skill is at a level we haven't seen in a long time in the heavyweight division.
He do have great boxing skills, but now when you look at the thing that Wilder, but other than Mark Breland, but when we talking about gloves and we know the history of this man.
No. I'm just merely addressing how does Usyk end up higher on the pound for pound list than a guy like Tyson Fury, who I think we all agree is infinitely talented, and that talent would translate to any weight class, because it's not like you can ask Tyson Fury to go down and fight light heavyweight. They can always come.
If I was a lawyer answering that question, I would say, well, it's because he's been called cheating several times, and it's been a big cloud over.
I got the answer.
But then he shouldn't be on the pound for pound list at all. Then he shouldn't be on the pound for pound list.
But let me tell you. I'm gonna tell y'all exactly why. Let me tell y'all why. Why they have? Let me tell you why we've witnessed a Usyk and a Lomachenko on the top pound for pound list. This man Usyk has 335 amateur wins.
That's what they do.
And what they gotta stop doing, what they have to stop doing, man, they gotta stop giving these fighters all these props for amateur victories. Like, we have to sit here and we have to start looking at a fighter's body of work from when they start. I'm not sure if he won an Olympic medal, but I know this man's record was 335-15. And it's similar to Vasily. I know he had some out just crazy.
I think he had
number.
About 400 fights,
right?
Lost one or something like that.
Right.
396 fights,
right?
Go ahead, you got like 155 and 7, which is almost the same percentage wise.
Right.
But
and they got to stop doing it. They have to stop crediting these fighters who come in just because they have a massive amateur resume. Because what we're seeing in Vasily Lomachenko, that ultimately he's really no longer top pound for pound. But think about how much he was hyped up for the past year or two. Same thing with Usyk. He does not have the power to really be a true heavyweight champ.
And I, just to kind of throw my 2 cents, and I know I've been jumping in when I wasn't supposed to be, but I want to say this.
Jump in there, man.
I want to say this. Just watching the fight, the back and forth of the fight, it wasn't just that he couldn't back Chisora often. It was the fact that it looked like he was afraid to take a punch from a guy that size.
Mm-hmm.
And at the heavyweight division, at some point, you're going to be able to have to take that punch, whether you got the power or not, you know? And so that's the thing that really kind of took me back when I was like, why is he on the ropes, right? You know, where's your combination punch? Where's the pressure at? This is they're trying to coordinate him and have him as this, I think it was on the Ring magazine, Oleksandr the Great, and I'm like, who's this guy? So good cruiserweight, and I didn't know. I've never seen a cruiserweight amass this much attention, even going up to the heavyweight division. And on October 31st was a great fight, right? But we had something else happen on October 31st. Over here in the States, it was Halloween, and speaking of Halloween weekend, there was a monster sighting in the U.S., and that monster was Japan. That monster was Naoya. Naoya. The monster Inoue versus Jason Moloney. And I'm sorry if and to all the Japanese fans out there, I'm sorry if I'm making a hatchet job of it. You guys have to forgive me. Versus Jason Moloney of Australia, that fought for the two belts that Inoue had at the bantamweight division. Ultimately, it was a monster right hand that ended the fight for Inoue, but he also knocked him down in the 5th. Now, this is a question that I'm really excited about. Fellas, do we have a superstar on our hands?
Superstar, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
superstar. Superstar just might be an understatement. It really might be.
He blasted him. Oh my goodness,
it might just be an understatement, man. And so
coming off that fight with Nonito Donaire, that was a classic.
Right.
He had
Nonaire got on that boy chest.
Yeah, he did. He did. He tested him. He tested him.
Throwback, we got a throwback got in there and got on that boy chest. That's my criticism.
And we really witnessed, the only question I would have of the monster Inoue, right, is the only question I have of him is that at 27 years of age, right, for him to really get his true props in the boxing world at 27, I do worry that there's only so much bigger he'll get when you're 27 years of age and you're still 118.
Right.
Now that does not mean he will not dare to be great and jump up to 126 and fight some dogs up there on 126. But I feel like for him to really get his just due, he's probably at this point, since he's probably in his man body, at 27, 28 years of age, you've kind of developed into your physical peak of your man body. And for him to be at 118, I feel like he's going to have to leap up there and possibly fight a Shakur Stevenson. He's going to have to leap up there and fight some of those fighters to really get that credit of being that real legendary fighter. Like right now, he's a starter.
So go ahead, take it, Q. I'm interested to see what you got to say about it.
One, he don't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. That ain't what he want.
Hey, I don't know about that, bro.
Hey,
I don't know, bro.
Listen.
Shout out to all my Japanese fans. Ni hao. Ni hao. Hello there.
So do we have a
If
star?
that happens, if that magically happens, the universe, the stars align, and that happens, bro, we got to put a ways on that.
Okay. Okay.
Now, what I do like about the monster is that in the lower weight division, they lack that pop, and he got that pop. With 17 to 20 knockouts. So whenever you could sit him down, you know what I'm saying? And he got a nice style. He do a little bit of everything, man.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I like about him. Yeah.
And he got very nice power. And if it was to translate, moving up higher at this late age, like we're talking about, and it'd be dope. I love to see that. But this last fight I watched, and out of relativity of the fighter that he was fighting, I didn't really know the guy he was fighting. So, but I do remember Nonito Donaire when he was like number 200 pound list. And I really, so, and I just remember his big fall after he fought Rigondeaux. And Rigondeaux, that was crazy shit.
It was Axeman too.
So,
Axeman got him too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that was the first one.
Yeah. Was it or was it Axeman? I think it was Axeman. Well, Q, we lost Q.
And I just feel like y'all lost me.
No, you
go ahead, bro.
You just froze for a second. You good? Look like, are you good? Come on.
All right. Okay. But anyway, so with seeing Rigondeaux, the Rigondeaux fight, and then seeing Nonito slide, this, and I haven't been watching him to be fair, but to see, hearing about the monster, because I don't really know a whole lot about the lower weight classes like that, but I was anxious to see him, and that was one of the fights I saw when I was looking for this fight, and because I knew just from my familiarity with Nonito, and that was an amazing fight. That was crazy. Nonito at his late age, and not as fast and not as sharp as he once was. Because I feel like a prime Nonito would have put. Well, he might have. I don't know if he'd be the prime Nonito than that.
So
I'm gonna say that.
So I'm gonna say is JD, you said something interesting, right? You and I think in this age of belts, right? We look for the greatest collector of belts. We mentioned Manny Pacquiao, 8 division champ, and we look at all these superlatives behind somebody. They're like superlatives and accomplishments at the same time, right? So you mentioned that when we were talking about the monster, like, oh, can he go up? And I think because we got so accustomed to see Pacquiao do something amazing, I don't know if that's a prerequisite for being a legendary fighter, right? If you look at it, if I'm not mistaken, I think we all agree Marvin Hagler's a legendary fighter. If I'm not mistaken, I think he fought at middleweight his whole career. So I think in this era of catchweights and different things like that, I think we sometimes thrust too much on fighters.
So you think somebody gonna come down and catch him at a catchweight? I mean, I'm talking about real names.
Well,
real names.
I don't know if Shakur Stevenson is going to be one of those names because he's young and he's going to fill out that frame.
Right,
quick.
he's gonna be shooting way up.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I don't know if. Here's the unique thing about Inoue, right? Naoya Inoue. Hopefully I'm Naoya. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. Here's the thing about it, right? It's going to be interesting to see with that power that we all saw that he has, if he can't turn that division into something, right? Because no matter what weight class it is, we want to watch a great fight.
Mm-hmm.
And so if he's able to fight high-level competition in and around his weight and produce performances like Nonito Donaire, or when he this amazing monsters right hand, not to, pun intended, against Moloney, I don't know if he needs to go up to 126, 130. I mean, I would like to see him at maybe up one more weight class, but to stay within range. Like we wouldn't expect we wouldn't expect a Mayweather to go up to 175. There's limits to it. Right. And sometimes if your frame doesn't carry up how talented you are in that division, because there's always going to be fighters in competition. It just depends on the level of competition that you face. To me, that determines your greatness, not necessarily the weight class.
Right. Now the thing I'll say when it comes to the weight class piece, where I believe maybe he would have to just step up a little bit and fight a few names, is because when we talk about, because see what I think sometimes, just speaking broadly when it comes to fans and how we view things, right? Now you have two extremes, right? You have the heavyweights, and then you have the people down here, flyweight, bantamweight, all of them kind of in that Inoue range, right? Yeah. So and all the rest of your typical probably average males fall in that middleweight, light heavyweight, all in that range. So it's always thick in that welterweight in those divisions. So with heavyweight, they're at the top of the extreme, but everybody respects the heavyweights because with one shot,
apex predator. They're the apex predator.
With one shot, you could go to sleep.
Bye, baby.
You know what I mean? You can go to sleep. So conversely, on the opposite end of the spectrum, the question with Inoue would be, he's not at the other extreme with all the one-hitter quitter fighters in heavyweight. He's not in that range of where your typical average male, point blank period, would fall in those weight classes. So he's down at the lower
average
extreme.
male in the U.S.
In the U.S., right? So he's sort of at that lighter, lower extreme. So I guess the question becomes, without any real names, do y'all really still think he gets that credit eventually if he keeps dominating? I'm gonna say this, in that lower class.
If he keeps on putting on performances like his last two performances, I say absolutely.
You think so? What you think, Q?
Because he'll have a whole country behind him, and I think anytime you can build up a big fan base by your performances, people will watch, and you can. And if the question will always be if the competition is there. If the competition is there, and he's able to put on performances like that, I think we'll have a superstar. Go ahead, take it, Q.
I mean, it's 50-50 as far as that goes. Because what was Nonito the guy before this fight?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, so with the Nonito's in there, and no disrespect to him, but I just he took him in deep water. That wasn't really a dominant performance to me. I feel I was more impressed with Nonito at this stage in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I said about Chisora versus Usyk. Well, nah, I can't say that because they're closer in age than I thought they were.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, I mean, yes to no. I really,
I'll say this, kind of wrap it up. I think we'll all be sitting at one point when this coronavirus is over.
I gotta see more.
Yeah,
I'd love to see him live, though. I think
we'll all be sitting down at some point, collectively watching this little dynamo right here.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead, Q. Go ahead, get the last word in.
No, I would definitely love to watch him fight.
Okay,
he is exciting to watch, but that's all I was going. But if I don't know the guys you're fighting, it's hard. But I would definitely have to pay attention now that we don't put a stamp on him. Now he's gonna know this. I won't be watching every move he made. So
yeah, definitely. And that's the thing when I think Michael Jordan said it right. You play like it's the first time somebody's seeing you play, right? Because that may be their first time. And if he keeps on putting on performances and somebody just peeks in to watch, he's gonna build up a fan base. But we're gonna get up into the let's call it the rapid fire. It doesn't move that fast, but we're gonna jump into my favorite. We're gonna jump into connector with. We're gonna jump into my favorite segment. So the first connector with, we've mentioned this in the last show. We've seen all these videos, all these YouTube, Instagram guys coming out live streaming. One of the most outspoken individuals, fighters out there is the very, very outspoken Gary Russell.
Hold on, put the Mr. on it. Put the Mr. on it.
Mr. Gary Russell. Will Mr. Gary connector with Mr. Gary Russell will get a mega fight in 2021?
I'm gonna connect on faith. I hope so.
On faith?
Okay. I'm gonna connect on faith. I want to see this man get somebody, right? I want to see him get a major fight. You know, I don't know, but I'm gonna connect on faith. On hope.
We gotta connect.
Man, in the words of Mr. Gary Russell, man, I want you real bad, Slim. I want you real bad. But man, hey, I'm gonna say it's a connect though, man. I'm gonna say it's a connect, man. I think he gets a major fight though.
Okay. All right, so second one. Now we've heard rumblings about Teofimo going up at 140. There's a big dog there by the name of Josh Taylor. Well, Josh Taylor, connector with, he will unify the 140-pound division and be the big dog. I just want to throw something out there. If I'm not mistaken, he's 5'10", and he handed Regis Progress his first defeat by majority decision. He's a big junior welterweight at 5'10". Is that a connector with?
So hold on real quick. So you mean
will he be?
If Fimo gets up there,
will he be the undisputed? Period.
You mean when he fight Jose Ramirez, who has the other?
Let's say right now.
Connector with, he will be the guy at 140.
Right. So right now.
I'm gonna take him over Jose Ramirez, but the caveat to that is now they say Jose Ramirez, he's the beneficiary of decisions. He got a few questionable decisions, so he's favorite. But I in decisions, he done had a couple fights that people feel like should have went the other way. But I think that Josh Taylor is he crossed the pond, stocks and bonds, man. They love them guys over there, man. So it'll be hard. It'll be hard to really. I can see the UK. You know what I'm saying? Put a little more money in the judge's pockets.
Hey, that never happens. There's no home cooking in boxing.
He's tall, he's dumb, athletic, and he can mix it up pretty decent.
All right, so we got to connect over there for Q. What we got, JD?
Yeah, man, I gotta connect on that, man. I think at the end of the day, man, we're headed towards a clash between him and Ramirez, and I think at the end of the day, man, I'm putting my money on Josh Taylor. Okay. Like you said, man, he a big boy.
I'm gonna say he's
gonna unify the 140-pound division.
And it's one of those things where because he's across the pond, he doesn't get a lot of love over here. But I think he's gonna be somebody, like a Joe Calzaghe. You don't hear about him, and then all of a sudden he starts beating some of these Americans, and then he gets a name. So I think we've yet to hear.
And word is also he might want that smoke with Bud too.
And that I'm all for it. So
like what you did. That's smoke with Bud.
Yeah.
So speaking of somebody who should be a free agent in Bud Crawford, last connector with Canelo being a free agent, is a good thing for boxing. Connector with.
I'm gonna let you go first, JD.
You gonna let me go? Hey, man, I think it's a great thing. It's a great thing, man, for Canelo to be for him to be a free agent, man. I'm gonna salute him for that. At the end of the day, I gotta blame Oscar De La Hoya and DAZN. It was an unfortunate, occurrence where all the money, pretty much, let's say it like this, man. DAZN is probably about to be a flop. We were just looking at a week ago, man. What were they doing? A promo with $2, a $2 promo in new territories, man, to try to sucker in new subscribers. So, I mean, it's great with that ship going down to see him. So I'm gonna say it's a connect.
Connect. What we got, Q?
So this is what I'm gonna say, because it's a catch to this. Now it's a connect if, in my opinion, he goes over there to the PBC stable, because that's where all the dogs at. Similar to what Bud Crawford got going on. That's where all the fights at. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, he got a fight lined up December 19th with my man Caleb Plant.
Hey, and that's a nice fight.
He's over there.
Yeah,
he's over there. We got my man. We got Charlo brothers over there. We got Charlo over there. We got hold on, help me out.
No. Listen, it's a whole stable of fighters.
Right.
So yeah, absolutely.
There's one more that I want to mention though. I can't think of who the other one. It was like two more. But
okay. So we got two connects, right?
If he goes over there, now he won't go to top rank.
Yeah. So no, so the big thing is we got two connects, all right. And so I'm a jump in on this, and I'm gonna say it's a whiff. And this is why I'm gonna say it's a whiff. I think the catalyst for him being a free agent is he didn't want to fight a third fight with Triple G. I think the catalyst for that, and I know some people may say, "Oh, it's gonna end like this, it's gonna end like that." I'm gonna be frank with it. I thought ultimately Triple G won the first fight, and I thought the second fight was a draw. Right. And I think if you have to walk through that fire at Triple G and you come out scathed but victorious, right? You don't want to go back into that well, a la Manny Pacquiao. So I think what the tensions that arose with the contract with, fighting these top level fighters, and there were good fighters that Canelo lined up. I think it's a whiff, right? Just because we've seen him fight.
So now you think that never happens now?
Yeah, I think it never happens, and I think that's something that needs to happen just because he's been the beneficiary of some very friendly scorecards dating back to Austin Trout days or wherever you want to talk about.
Lord.
So Floyd, that was a whitewash, but magically, what was it? A split decision,
right? It was
decision. So I mean, yeah, and I'm really not in favor because I don't. And don't get me wrong, this Caleb Plant fight, I was kind of excited about it. I want to see these good, strong opponents that he faces. But I really think it's a whiff just because I've seen the type of fights that Canelo's been in when he wasn't with the zone. I mean, that stinker with Chavez Jr., Amir Khan. I mean, all these catch weights he was fighting.
And now he controls his own destiny.
And now he controls his own destiny. And so now that he already has the brand, I don't know if I see him taking as many chances, because if he was going to take that many chances, he would have went ahead and fought Triple G again. So I don't really, I think it's a whiff, and this is just me throwing my, and I know you have your opinions about Triple G, but I don't think he beat Triple G once, so I don't see him ever beat Triple G.
I'll say this too, man.
Hold on, but will you say he did improve in the two fights?
Mo. He did improve.
He did improve, but I think we would see the best Triple G. We would see the best Triple G in that third fight, because this would be his last hurrah.
And I'll say this, man. Hey, Q, I'll tell you this is not gonna happen, man. He ain't going to PBC. If anything, it's gonna be a partnership, because at this point,
he's his own brand.
Yeah, he's his own brand. And he's the money man in boxing. He is the most lucrative star in boxing.
Anywhere he goes,
so at the end of the day, ultimately, it makes no sense for him to really go anywhere. But I would agree, Jay, that we're now going to see the real Canelo.
Yeah.
We're going to see the real Canelo, because we lamented back in the day, we felt he was being spoon-fed.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
All these catchweights.
All the catchweights.
People want to talk about Pacquiao. He was really undersized. They were fighting catchweights. If I'm not mistaken, it was a catchweight against Amir Khan. I'm like, and it was a weird kind of sort of to fit his, weight and how he had struggles with his weight. Nobody else got spoon-fed like that. But yeah. I'm not getting on Canelo too much. He's a great champion, and I really appreciate what he did with Kovalev. That was a great performance he put on.
Unicorn, man.
Hey.
That man, cinnamon.
Hey, he is a great
cinnamon.
But
he's a Mexican with freckles and
Viva Mexico.
Shout out to Canelo Alvarez. He really does put on some good performances. I would just like to see different competition at certain times. But that's our time, man. I hope y'all love us like we love y'all. This is Boxing Vibes TV, man, and we out here, man.
I want you real bad, Slim.
Shout out to Gary Russell, man.
Mr. Gary Russell.
If he don't put on the most entertaining fights, he got the most entertaining IG live.
Most
YouTube.
definitely. Yes, sir.
Go ahead and subscribe.
Most def
to the vibe.
Oh, hold on. Eminem Q. Eminem squad.
Let me see the micro muscles. The micro
Next
muscles.
one, bro. Hey.
I'm what my man name is? Hercules Slim, baby. We ain't gonna do that micro muscle shit no more, man. That's me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you see the African 8?
Hey,
You see him?
uh,
That's what it is, man. Bottom line TV, man.